OK, back to our top story. British journalist Graham Phillips, who's reported from Ukraine for RT, has been released from detention by the country's security service. In fact, as you can see on the news wall, we're delighted to see joins us now. Well, where do we start here, Graham? First of all, our very best wishes to you, and it's very good and a big relief to see you. We've been talking at length to your friend, as you know, Brian McDonald, and he's been very pleased to see you as well. How have you been treated? Tell us about what's happened to you over the last 24, 48 hours. Where are you now as well?
Well, you know, I went to film. I'm in Poland. I'm not even exactly sure where I am. I just got put at the border by the SBU quite recently, so I'm just kind of getting my bearings. But it started 3 days ago. I went to film at Donetsk airport at night. RT told me not to go in strong terms, but I went anyway with a local journalist, Vadim, and we were taken by Ukrainian soldiers. And, you know, it was pretty bad. They beat Vadim up in front of me. I saw him getting pretty severely beaten by the Ukrainian soldiers. He was on the ground, his head in the ground, just a young guy. And they were punching him and kicking him. And then they took him away. And then I was left with a soldier that had a gun, you know, at my head and was telling me that if my details didn't check out, then he wouldn't guarantee that I was gonna live. Yeah. So then
well, what did you both...
explosions started going off.
What had you both done to have this sort of treatment? What did you purportedly have done?
Well, we just went there to film, you know, and I had a press vest on and just cameras, and it was pretty, you know, it got pretty heated. The soldiers had taken Vadim off, and I was left with this soldier that seemed pretty intent on doing some damage. But luckily, then it kind of got into an action situation. There was shelling, and they sort of rushed me into the building, and I was blindfolded, and I was sort of kind of pushed around a little bit, and kind of sat down and then interrogated, asked a lot of questions about the Donetsk Republic, and I wouldn't obviously give any information. They took all my things off me. Then they went and found my car, which was parked nearby, and were going through all my things and asking me lots of questions about that, and I wouldn't obviously give answers, wouldn't give any confidential information. Then they put me in a cell with Vadim. We spent the night in a cell together. We had no water, we had no toilet. We were just put in a dark cell. It was completely pitch black, couldn't see a thing. And then the next day, they dragged me out. They left Vadim there, and then asked if I was going to answer more questions, and I said I wouldn't. So they put me in a room next to their artillery position, where they were firing from, and they started firing pretty heavily from the next room. So the room that I was in was getting fired on, and I was there, you know, for the day. And then at the end of the day, they put me in a military vehicle. I don't know, they blindfolded me again. I was blindfolded for a lot of the time. They put me in a military vehicle and took me off. I don't know where it was, a base somewhere in a forest, and I was on my knees in the middle of a forest, and there were soldiers around me shouting at me. And I didn't have my car. They kept my car and my bulletproof vest. And the next day, the SBU, the security service, Ukrainian security service, took me, and I just had my bags, a few bags, and they took me off to Zaporozhye. And again, the SBU asked me a lot of questions. This is the Ukrainian security service. And I was put in another car, taken to Kiev, and then today put in a van and then taken to the border of Poland and just dumped out. And then I've got my things, a few of my things, but I found that all my accounts have been hacked. The SBU deleted every single file from my computer, so I've been trying to run, you know, software recovery to get files back. They deleted every single file from my computer and accounts, all my accounts, my Facebook, my contactor. It's been hacked, and my car's been taken. They've got my car, you know, I'm not getting that back. My money, they took my money and my bulletproof vest. Obviously, the main thing is that, you know, I'm all right.
Indeed,
I'm in Poland. I'm a little bit shell-shocked and banned from Ukraine for 3 years. I was deported and banned for 3 years. And the reason that they gave for that was simply that I worked for RT. That was all it said in the form. They wouldn't let me take it or take a copy of it. Just said that you work for RT, it's the enemy, and you're banned, deported and banned for Ukraine for 3 years. I wasn't given a chance to defend myself. I was just taken to the border, kicked over the border basically, and then, you know, here I am with sort of the things that I have, trying to kind of piece my life back together.
OK, well, it's extremely good to see you looking, I have to say, so fit and well. We're extremely worried about you because Vadim, when we were talking to him last night...
I really appreciate all the support, Ken. I really appreciate it from my RT, because I know you told me not to go in the strongest terms, but, you know, I went anyway and got in a situation, but I really appreciate it. And I've had a lot of messages of support, so I'm just trying to piece everything together. I'm still a little bit shell shocked by it all. It's been 3 days basically in detention in captivity, and I've come out and I'm just trying to work out what I've got and what I've not.
Have you
but what I
spoken
do
to your
have
family
is the
yet?
support of our team, so I appreciate that a lot.
Have you spoken to your family yet? Well, obviously,
I'm just trying to get in contact with them. I'm trying to get in contact with them now. I'm trying to access my numbers and call people and get in touch and just sort of try and piece things together, work out where I'm going to stay, or even I'm not exactly sure where I am, to be honest. So I'm just trying to work things out and get my bearings. It was basically 3 days in detention, and you know, I've come out of it now, and I'm all right. Is the main thing. So I'm going to you know, get in contact with everyone, and really appreciate all the support, and I'm really grateful for that.
That's good. You stay safe. Hopefully, stay out of trouble trying to get to the front line again. Report back those facts, which is actually all you were trying to do in the first place, even though we told you to take it easy and not get yourself into too much of the front line there. A pleasure to see you tonight. Thank you.
Cheers, thanks very much.
Bit of good news.
Thanks.
Coming up.